When a person places the proper value on freedom, there is nothing under the sun that he will not do to acquire that freedom. Whenever you hear a man saying he wants freedom, but in the next breath, he is going to tell you what he won't do to get it, or what he doesn't believe in doing, in order to get it. He doesn't believe in freedom. A man who believes in freedom will do anything under the sun to acquire or preserve his freedom. I'm sorry to say that the subject I most disliked was mathematics. I have thought about it. I think the reason was that mathematics leaves no room for argument. If you made a mistake, that was all there was to it. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or says it. You don't have to be a man to fight for freedom. All you have to do is to be an intelligent human being. I have often reflected upon the new vistas that reading has opened to me. I knew right there in prison that reading had changed forever, the course of my life. As I see it today, the ability to read awoke inside me. Some long dormant craving to be mentally alive. Prison. I read almost everything I could put my hands on in the prison library. I began to think back on everything I had read, and especially with the histories. I realized that nearly all of them read by the general public have been made into white histories. I found out that the history whitening process either had left out great things that black men had done, or some of the great black men had gotten whitened. True Islam taught me that it takes all of the religious, political, economic, psychological, and racial ingredients or characteristics to make the human family and the human society complete. I was going through the hardest thing. Also, the greatest thing for any human being to do, to accept that which is already within you and around you. Anytime you find someone more successful than you are, especially when you're both engaged in the same business, you know they're doing something that you aren't. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Yes, I'm an extremist. The black race is in extremely bad condition. You show me a black man who isn't an extremist, and I'll show you one who needs psychiatric attention. I don't advocate violence, but if a man steps on my toes, I'll step on his. A race of people is like an individual man until it uses its own talent, takes pride in its own history, expresses its own culture, affirms its own selfhood. It can never fulfill itself. People don't realize how a man's whole life can be changed by one book. If you turn the other cheek, you can be enslaved for 1,000 years. I want Dr. King to know that I didn't come to Selma to make his job difficult. I really did come thinking I could make it easier. If the white people realize what the alternative is, perhaps they will be more willing to hear Dr. King. Concerning nonviolence, it is criminal to teach a man not to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attacks.